Hello everyone. Sandra Madaffrey here, and I hope you're having a great Monday morning. Welcome to another Monday morning musing and to part B of becoming an effective leader or business owner. So it is at 10 o'clock on the hour, and thank you for everyone that I can see jumping on. I'm just going to share my screen, get the slides. There will be a comment box, so if anyone wants to, here's the chat box. So if you want to comment, ask me any questions as we go along, please do. But here we go. So becoming an effective leader and business owner. If you have not received part A, if you weren't here for last week's, please, when I send this through to you all today, shoot me a message asking me for a link. I might actually just put the link of part A in anyway for anyone who wasn't. Good morning, Kylie. Anyone who missed last week, so that you can actually catch up on part A. But I'm very excited about part B because part B is a little bit, part A was very practical, I guess. Part B is going to be a little bit practical as well. But as I spoke about last week, the whole idea around how to become an effective leader and business owner, and the very idea about these steps that you need to take, all these things. Good morning, Loretta. Nice to have you here as well. Is that energetically, if you believe in energy, if you have things that are not done or things that take your focus away, both the unconscious mind and on an energetic level as well, although you might not be conscious that these things aren't happening, because they're things that you need to have done or things that make you feel, better without even actually having to worry about them consciously, they actually drag your focus and attention away. Shortly you might see. Oh, that's all right, Loretta, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. So like I was saying, you might see that, once you have a lot of these things done and you put these into routines and you do some of these things ongoing, that energy pull towards, having sort of unfinished stuff sitting in the back of your unconscious mind no longer exists, and it allows you to have more laser focus on things that you need to do every day in your life. So I love this second part, especially because one of the things I've got to, and do stay till the end, because I have a really special offer today on here as well. First time I'm going to do this, but I thought I'll make a nice offer at the end for everyone who's watching. So the reason why I love today is because the second half of this is all about more of an energy that goes with these things that you do, because like I said, energetically your focus is more scattered if you don't get yourself aligned with some of these things. So anyway, let's have a chat, let's go through them, and please ask any questions. So oh, hang on a minute, guys. I'm just gonna, let's do this again. Okay, so the first one is get your finances in order. I cannot tell you how important this is. I am, for those who don't know, I am an ex-accountant. I ran a highly successful bookkeeping business for 8 years before I sold it back in 2008. I think I sold my bookkeeping business. So this is one thing that is really, really important for you guys to do on many levels. One of the, energetically, you need to stay on top of how you feel about money and your energy. Well done, Kylie. Yes. First time you're all over this. So important. So important. Like I said, on many levels, not just energetically, but you need to know where you are. As a business owner, you must be up to date and know what's happening in your business at any time. So here's some of the things that are really important that you need to do. You need to keep your accounts balanced. I do mine every single week without fail. I run two businesses. I have the coaching business and I have the training business, and I keep these up to date every every single week. Every Sunday, it's my day to get everything ready for the next week. So balance all your accounts. Make sure that you know what is in your accounts at any time, what money you have to spend, what things are coming up, all that sort of stuff. Keep your profit and loss up to date. You need to know where you're at. Had a chat the other day with someone who told me they made their first 6 figures 2 months ago and only just figured it out 2 days ago. Now, you want to be knowing exactly where you are financially at any point. It is so important. Keep your balance sheet up to date. Another one that is really, really important for you to know what's going on in your balance sheet. Now, you might not understand these things. There's a lot of, I highly recommend you speak to your accountant. There's a lot of software out there that will help you do this really easily. And if you've got an accountant, you want to be using whatever systems they use, whether it's Xero, MyOb, any of those sorts of things, okay? So it's so important that you know where you are financially at all times. It just makes you feel better as well. And it also shows you that if you need to, you know, maybe you're not hitting those goals, you might need to be able to do a few things or have a look at how you can create something or have some more sales conversions or do some advertising or put a workshop together or whatever it is to meet your financial goals. And that's why I mean, know all your figures. You need to know all your figures. You need to know absolutely everything that's going on in your business at any time. You need to know what's coming out, what's coming in, all those sorts of things. Really important. This one is important on many levels, not just to become effective, but on many, many levels, to have to keep your finances up to date. This is something that I work very heavily with all my business coaching clients to do. It is absolutely imperative. The other thing is your conversion rates. Do you know your conversion rates for sales, for advertising, for you know, workshops that you do? What is your conversion rates? You need to know how many people you need to speak to get a conversion into a sale. So important. Your rate of investment. If you invest in advertising, if you invest in a program, if you invest with a coach, are you getting a rate of return on that investment? Now, that depends on what you want as well too. And your coach needs to know that you're wanting a rate of return, or knowing what, if you're going to do some advertising, do you know what's working and what's not working? I've had clients before that have been doing advertising and spending money on stuff that wasn't working and didn't know. So you need to track all this. And as I said before, how many sales calls do you need every week to create those goals that you want? Now, depending on what you want, this is different for everyone. So you need to create your own goals, and you need to know how many people you need to speak to, how many sales you need to make every week to create that budget or that forecast, all those goals, financial goals that you have in your business. So important, so necessary, and so needed. And like I said, I cannot begin to tell you how important this is on many, many levels, because this was my background as the business strategist in my bookkeeping business, where I used to go out and have a look at all this stuff for people, and so many people were running businesses and had no idea what was going on. So quite dangerous if you do not know your finances. So that's the first one for today. The second one is to organize your financial commitments. This is really, really important as well. If you have commitments, you know, because you owe money or you need to pay things, you know, you've got electricity, registrations, insurances, you need to know when they're coming in. You need to be organized. You need to know, you know, I tell my clients to keep a very heavily detailed spreadsheet on all of this stuff. And, you know, you need to know all the time what's coming in and be organized and be ready to pay. There is nothing worse and nothing that causes you don't like sales call. Okay. That's an interesting thing, Kylie, that you don't like sales call. What is it? Another name you can call it? Oh, let me have a think of that and I'll get back to you. The word sales, maybe you can call it client commitment call. How's that? I'll have a think about that one, but I don't know why it is a sales call. There's some other words I'm thinking, but they're probably, you're not going to like those either. So let me have a think about it. So really important that you organize all your financial commitments. If you do run a spreadsheet, you know when your bills are coming in and you can work out what money you need. So pay or schedule all your bills on time. Energetically, this is amazing. And Kylie, you've been messaging, and you know this because this is something that you've now got under control. But being able to pay and schedule all your bills on time is just one of the best feelings you can have on many levels. And energetically, it is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and it opens you up to, you know, more money actually flowing in and out. So that's part of one of the things that I teach in one of my courses. Make arrangements for unpaid bills and stick to it. So let's say you do have, it's an epic task. It is, absolutely. So let's say you are at the moment behind in your bills, which is pretty much might be the truth with COVID if you've stuck, if you're not working. What you need to do is have a look at all your bills. If you cannot pay things on time, you know what, reach out to people. Everyone understands. Make a commitment. Make sure you know, put it in your planner, put it in your spreadsheet so you know when the money is due. This is so important, guys. I cannot stress this enough. And then stick to it. So important that you stick to what you say, because as like I keep saying, this is why I love this week's, I think there's 9 on the list of what we're going to go through, 9 things to do to become an effective leader or business owner. And this week I love it because a lot of it is actually very intrinsically attached to energy as well. So make arrangements for any debts, credit cards, anything at all, and then stick to it. Really important. The only way you're going to be able to do that is that you need to make a financial forecast. So the next one is who owes you? Really important. Now this is interesting. Until I actually sat with the concept of this one here and went through it. So make a list of everyone who owes you money, everyone who you've borrowed something from, and make a conscious effort to either collect it. So you need to make phone calls. I know this sounds really daunting, guys. Time to set some boundaries, okay? Yeah, I love the word financial forecast as well. I've always called it that. So you either need to make a conscious effort to say, right, this person owes me money, or this person has borrowed something from me. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here too. There are certain things of mine, and I don't care what anyone thinks, that I don't let them borrow, one being my books. I love my books. I do not let anyone borrow my books. So if you're the sort of person that doesn't like people borrowing your stuff, you know what? That's okay. And you say to them no. But if you do have people that owe you money, or you have people that you have borrowed things off you and they haven't given them back, make a conscious effort now to either collect it, make a phone call, write an email. Phone call is probably the best, whatever. Or if you don't want to do that, cross it off, let it go. Energetically, you've got to release the strings to things that you're not going to, you just go, well, that's it. You know, I'm burying the hatchet on that one. I'm not going to worry about getting that back, and let it go. Because again, energetically, what happens here is that unconsciously, you're still being drawn towards the energy of that person owes me money, that person owes me money. And it's quite a low vibrating frequency. So you either make an effort to collect it, and if the person doesn't want to pay, then, you know, it's up to you what you do next, or cross it off and let it go. Basically, it's either something that finishes either way with one phone call, but don't leave it in the back of your mind all the time, okay? Now, I hope you guys, brilliant feeling, absolutely. I hope you guys like the PowerPoint that I've got up here. I saw that and I thought I've got to put that picture up. So the next one is uncompleted tasks. So if you have uncompleted tasks, as this quote says on the PowerPoints, nothing is so fatiguing as external hanging of an uncompleted task. Even though you might think consciously, you might not be thinking about it. Unconsciously, you're being pulled that way. Okay, and this is what I want you to understand. 95% of everything that we do is done through unconscious mind. It's not done consciously. Only about 5% of what we do consciously. Our behavior is 95% unconscious. So in the unconscious, if you've got constantly an uncompleted task, people often ask me why they don't feel quite right. I mean, whatever the word is, oh, something's not right. Something's not right. And some of these things is the reasons why they're not right. It's because it's sitting in your unconscious mind. So if you have uncompleted tasks, make a list if you have any at all and figure out. Yeah, that's right. You get, I'm just going to move the chat box, guys, because it's in the way of the slides and I can't see. Exactly right, Loretta. If you complete something, it makes room for something else. And really, we cannot hold that much stuff in our conscious or the unconscious mind has everything. We cannot hold enough stuff, that we want to in the conscious mind. So once you get rid of something, it makes room for other stuff, and the laser focus is so much more on point. So when you've got an uncompleted task, you know what, once you make these lists, decide on a deadline, okay? So you might have a look at them and you might decide when you want to get these things finished. And when is completely up to you. But you need to start making some more of an effort, I guess is the word, of being in charge of some of the things that you need to do. So even if you've got an uncompleted task and you decide that you're not going to do it for 6 months, that's fine. But when you're trying to keep so many things in your head, it makes it really difficult. Absolutely, 100%, Kylie. Write them in your planner. I talk about this all the time. I have my Living with Intention planners, of which the pre-order for those is ready now. I've just ordered the first batch for 2021. So if anyone wants to know about my planners, please let me know. The other thing that I do, guys, I have a massive, massive whiteboard, which I actually write on. I've got a whole 12 months, every month of the year. I just go along and change the year, and I write things. I've got things written on here up until November 21, so that nothing's in my head. Great planners. Thank you, Kylie. They are. I love my planner. I couldn't be without it. So, I not only have my planner for day-to-day things, but I have a map, because one of those wall planners wasn't big enough for me. I actually went and bought a massive whiteboard, which is about 1.5 meters wide, and I write on that whiteboard way ahead, so it's not in my head, and I know what I have to do all the time. Get it out of my head, it's on the whiteboard, and then I always work backwards. Everyone who's worked with me or knows me really well knows that I reverse engineer everything. I create a deadline and work backwards. So decide a deadline on any uncompleted task and schedule it in to be finished. Yeah, it's so important that you need to get it out of your head. So schedule it in to be finished. When do you want to have this finished, and what steps do you have to take? And you know what? It might just even be an hour a week, but you will feel so much better if you get it out of your head and you write it down, okay? Or if you have an unfinished or uncompleted task that you decide you don't want to do, you know what? Cross it off your list and let it go. And I actually did that earlier this year. I had signed up a couple of years ago, to be quite honest, to a really big online program, which I really, really disliked. It was not what I thought I had bought into. It was a qualification program for something. Like I said, I was not enjoying it, and I was really struggling every week to have this to do my homework. And in the end, I just went, you know what, I'm calling it a day. And I just crossed it off my list and I said, I'm not doing this. And I was halfway through and thought, the angst it was causing was just too hard. So I let it go. So you know what? You either schedule it in to finish it or you let it go. And it feels so good when you let things go that you don't want to do. The next one is ongoing tasks. So these are things that you need to be doing all the time, ongoing routines, ongoing tasks, things that you need to keep doing on an ongoing basis. Decide the deadlines for things that you need to do for these particular tasks. And again, like the unfinished tasks, schedule the time in to get them done. I cannot tell you how important time management and planning and taking charge of your day every day is so important to you. And especially as a leader or a business owner, you definitely want to be in charge of your day. There's a big difference between being in charge and being in control. When I say in charge, it's not talking about control, because control is like, nothing changes and you stay static. In charge is more about knowing what you have to do, planning it, and then going ahead and spending the time to do it. So it's a little bit different, but any ongoing tasks that you have, you need to decide deadlines for them, you need to schedule them in, and you need to get them done. So important. Getting them done is the main thing. We don't transfer them to tomorrow or the next day, we get them done. Oh, let me just, okay, beautiful. Agreements. This is another really, really important one. Again, because we might not be thinking about these things consciously, occasionally we might, but unconsciously they're sitting there. Okay, so make a list of any of all agreements that you have made. Okay, so any promises that you've made to people, anything that you've said you're going to do and you haven't done it yet. Okay. Fulfill all your past agreements or make a new agreement if you can't fulfill it. So if you've made a promise to someone and you can't hold that promise now, you need to speak to that person and make a new agreement. And that could be about anything. It could be payments, it could be doing a task, it could be anything at all. Really, really important. And you know what, guys? Take responsibility, okay? Take responsibility and never commit to more than you can do. Now, this one here, if you want to be looked at as a great leader, if you want to be looked at as a leader, what you're wanting is respect, okay? To me, as a leader, the biggest thing that I want from my clients, from people who follow me, from everything that I do, is respect. So you need to take responsibility for yourself, and people respect you more when you take responsibility. So never commit to anything you can't do. Never commit to anything you don't want to do. That is when you can't fulfill that commitment, or you fulfill that commitment with less than 100% effort because you don't really want to do it. That is when people start to lose respect for you. And as a business owner, you also need to have respect, okay? So say no if you can't. Say no. It's as simple as that. You know what? Just say no. People respect no more than they respect, oh, okay, I'll see. I mean, if you need to think about it, just say I need to think about it, but then go back with a yes or a no. So important. Okay. Delegate anything in your business that takes you away from your focus. So in other words, one of the things that I see constantly with business owners, and this is really, really important. I'm an advocate for you need to learn everything yourself first, okay? So learn what needs to be done in your business. So all the back end stuff, everything that needs to be done, learn it. But you know what? Some of that stuff you don't need to do because it takes you away. As a business owner, you should only be doing stuff that is sales generating. Okay, so for instance, I have a VA and a PA that I work with very closely, and you know, they do the stuff that takes my focus away from what I really need to be doing. Okay, so I know it takes a little bit of time before you can start affording to have a VA or a PA or anything like that. But this is why I advocate that you learn to do everything yourself first. And then as you move through, you know, getting busier and busier, you need to start to delegate. If you want to grow a business, you need to outsource. This is incredible, learning so much, outstanding training. Thank you, Kylie. I appreciate it. Thank you. So to grow a business, you need to outsource. You cannot grow a business on your own. So what the first things that you need to delegate are the things that really you don't need to do, that someone else can do. And, you know, one of the things that people used to delegate all the time immediately when their business started to grow years ago was people used to look for bookkeepers. And that's where I used to jump in, or business strategist, you know, anything that you're not good at, anything you don't enjoy doing, give it to someone else to do. And then you'll see amazingly how your business actually grows because you have more passion in that business. So really important. And anything that drains your energy, anything you don't like doing drains your energy, so move it on. But I highly recommend that you must know how to do it yourself first, because, you know, if you're outsourcing, sometimes people, you know, they leave, they get other jobs, they can no longer help you for whatever reason. And it might take you a little while before you find someone else to take over. So you might have to step in as a business owner again to do those things that you have to do again. And I was actually chatting with one of my clients about 2 weeks ago, and this particular client, we're scaling to 7 figures in the next couple of years, and what she presented me was completely unscalable business. Because there are some things in your business that you have to outsource, or other people need to do for you to be able to scale a business. So when some of these things, if in the back of your mind you think that one day you might like to scale your business, I cannot tell you how important it is that you set it up right from the beginning with a system that you're going to be able to scale. And I have a lot of training, and I speak to a lot of my mastermind clients about this sort of stuff. Some want to scale, some don't. So if you want to scale, you've got to set up straight from the beginning, and then you begin to give people all the things that takes your focus away what you need to do, which is your clients, and it drains your energy. Okay. And as I said before, anything that takes you away from the money producing. Okay, if you know, you're spending your whole day doing social media content and writing this and writing that and doing things that take you away from not being able to see your clients, you're in trouble. I plan in my day, every day I have time in my planner that any new lead that comes in, I can slot them in depending on how late in the day, either have a chat with them that day or the next day. If you have a lead coming in, you don't want to be so bombarded in that calendar that you have to wait. They have to wait a week. You'll lose the lead. So, you know, these are the sorts of things that you have to think about. So there is stuff that will take away your time. If you're so inside the back end of your business, you'll find that you'll get really flustered. So have a think about it and how you want your business to be and what you need to do next. The last one is look after you. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be a really effective business owner, you need to look after you, because the buck always stops with you. And as a leader or as a business owner, especially if you have staff in your business, which I did, is it, yeah, Calendly, Acuity. There's heaps and heaps of different booking systems. I use I have a Kartra as my CRM, massive site, but I mean you have memberships and stuff like that in Kartra, so you need to have a look if that works for you. But there's lots and lots of different scheduling tools. So absolutely, Sophia, jump onto something. You need a scheduling tool, very important. But again, like I said, I have time actually blocked out of my calendar, which is specifically if a new lead pops up, I can speak to them very quickly. I don't leave them for a week. And like I was saying, look after you, okay? As a leader, you need to lead by example. As a leader, you're meant to be an inspiration to others. You're meant to be someone who people look up to. So you need to look after yourself. So, so, so important. So look after your physical body. It's so important. And when I say look after your physical body, I'm not talking about you know, we're going to talk about, you know, some very physical things, but I'm talking about things like meditating, all those sorts of things, you know, that keep you grounded, keep you stable, keep you focused on what you're doing. So get enough sleep. I cannot tell you how important this is, guys. If you don't get 8 hours of sleep, and I know there's people, I hear it all the time, oh, I only need 5 hours. It has been proven that you need a good 8 hours sleep. And if you don't, and you tend to have a little bit of brain fog. And I know myself, because when I don't get enough sleep, that's what happens to me. When I do get enough sleep, I seem to be able to produce and be able to focus on my tasks, speak to people a lot more clearer. So get enough sleep. That is so important. You have to rest. Being a leader and a business owner, you don't want to be working, go all the time. Rest is so important. Okay, eat well. Make sure when I say eat well that you eat wholesome food, but also that you eat at least 3 times a day. One of the worst things I've seen is business owners that get really busy and they skip meals. And I'm going to put my hand up because that was me. Okay, nothing worse. Look after you. You have to come first. Okay, exercise. Now, exercise can be anything. It can be some Tai Chi, a little bit of yoga, going for a walk. If you're in Melbourne, 2 hours we get now. But just do some exercise. And it can also be just getting up from your desk and stretching your body. Okay, so important. And one of the other things that I highly recommend that I do, I have a morning vitamin routine, and I take isotonics, which is you drink them, so it's not a tablet. Very, very high quality vitamins. If you're going to take vitamins, yeah, absolutely, Sophia. I've got my office work hours all set up as well. Absolutely. I have that all in my planner. I've got lots of me time too, because it's very, very important. So I take breaks all day long for me, and breaks in between clients. I do not book back-to-back clients ever. So like I was saying, lots, you know, look after you. You need to be the front and center of your business. So you need to look after you. Gosh, I've gone right over time today. And drink plenty of water. This is another one that people forget. So really important. And in my planner, we've actually got that for people to drink plenty of water. Okay, so I said there's a little special offer. I'm not gonna go too much longer into this. I do have a half-day workshop coming up on Saturday, 26th of September between 21, which is called Activate Your Money Frequencies. This is about activating the energy of money and abundance and understanding what it is. And it is not what most people think. And that's the one thing I want to say, because we spoke a little bit about that today. Some of the things that you're unconsciously doing, or some of the things like not paying your bills, or not knowing where your money's coming from, or having you know, things like, you know, knowing when your bills are due and sorting all your money out properly and having, you know, a really good picture of this actually adversely affects your ability to actually make money flow into your life. So activate your money frequency is the first step that I always teach everyone about. I've got something else coming up in October, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but this is a half-day workshop, guys. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it live, you will get a copy of the recording. It's $33 just for the half day. It's not a big investment. And in this half-day workshop, there will be 5 steps that you can follow to start getting an understanding of how your unconscious mind and your energy works when it comes to attracting money into your business. Let's face it, you have a business or run a business because you need to make some sort of money to eat, pay your bills and everything else that we need. And whether we like it or not, a lot of people go really funny when I talk about money, but whether you like it or not, you need money to survive. You've seen the chaos that has happened and been created with people losing their jobs during COVID. So without money, life is tough. So please, I'm going to put this in, this changed your life. It did, Kylie. It absolutely did. Thank you so much. It was this and the other one, which I'm not talking about just yet, when it comes to money frequencies. People think this is woo-woo. It is not. This shows you some practical steps. I am very much into combining left, right brain modalities, and this is what this is all about. This is not just woo-woo stuff, but it shows you, this is just 5 steps that shows you how to start thinking about your money a little bit different. So thank you again, guys. I've gone really over time today. Thank you for everyone who's watched on Facebook as well. So as I always say every week, you can find me, Sandra Modafferi, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I am going to send everyone a copy of this, so you will have my email, admin@sandramodafferi.com.au. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'll send the link for the Activate Your Money half-day workshop that we do. You get a workbook with that as well. And if you want to join, guarantee, pleasure, Loretta, Michelle, it's a fantastic workshop. It absolutely is. And I really look forward to bringing it again, to helping some more people understand what it's all about, and rather than, you know, not quite getting the fact that that unconscious mind just rules us so much. So I look forward to seeing everyone again next week. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to stop the share. And next week we've got how to become an effective leader and business owner, part 3. So I look forward to seeing you guys all in part 3. You're all going to get a copy of this very soon, and I'll make sure I have all the links in that email for you. Thanks, guys, for any of you that are on here that want to join us at 11 a.m. Coffee catch up. We have lots of fun. It's all about networking, community support. There is no selling. It is just all about getting a little bit of community connection, especially for those people that are currently here in Melbourne, and we are absolutely craving this. All right, guys, for those that are joining me, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Bye for now.